At a BC in the house.
At a BC. Young ass Damien know nothing about that.
You got to go back and watch
Oz
on HBO.
Young Blood.
That should have changed your life. Hey, you'll be looking at all of the you'll be looking at like all these people, all these men like different after that. You be like, damn, in the 90s, this is what I was doing? Like
getting their cheeks clapped on
HD.
Whoa. Dicks out everywhere.
HD.
Like dicks out.
You know the dude from SVU? You know the dude from SVU, the main dude, the white dude? He not on there anymore, but you know what I'm talking about? Special Crimes.
Yeah, I probably have to see him. Yeah, I watched it.
Oh no, you got
your boy packing heat. your boy got a mandingo, bro.
The white boy?
Yeah. Yeah, your boy's packing heat, bro.
Stop. Hey, your boy's a menace. Hey, that man right there is a menace.
Oh, yeah. I recognize him in that top left corner picture.
Yeah. You start watching
Foot-long sub.
Stop it. You start watching that Oz, you be like, I don't know who this man is. I don't know.
Ron Jeremy.
Yo. I ain't going that far. I don't even remember now. I think you just capping now. Peace. Welcome to the Scrap and Roll MMA podcast. I'm your host, Sky. We got your host, Jace, and Damien in the building. CJ will be in a little bit. Y'all already know. We are ready for UFC 294. So we're not even about to waste time and talk about no other stuff. We're just going to quickly talk about this weekend, the past weekend's card, the Apex Super Sadiq versus Edson Barboza, because Edson Barboza did his damn thing. Like, first round number one, he gets almost annihilated. Sadiq almost takes him up out of there. If y'all haven't watched it, go back and watch, because I was sitting over there like, oh my God, like, you about to do Edson Barboza like that? And then one thing I really appreciate is that in between rounds, Edson's coach was like, you faced the worst. You have survived the worst of this fight. And I'm thinking, Coach, what do you know that I don't know? Because this man's about to die in the second round. Sure enough, his coach was right. Edson came back out there and swept all 4 rounds. Won all 4 rounds. I might have gave this. I mean, I feel like Sadiq you could argue that he won one of them, but either way, all judges gave him 4-1 to Edson. So, yeah. I mean, it was a pretty solid card. I don't know why we got to hear Jace chew inside our ears. You know, some people listen to this, you know, just the audio version, and here he is, crunch. Real quick, just to wrap up the card, Adrian Yanez got taken out by some nasty leg kicks against Jonathan Martinez. That was brutal. Go watch that. One thing I was really surprised about on that fight was that Adrian wasn't comfortable switching to southpaw. I know. Yep. All right, y'all. Jason's giving me the time. I told him, don't let me spend too much time on this, because y'all know we get long-winded when we start talking about Volk and 294.
Yeah. Y'all came here today to hear us analyze 291. Let's get to it. Edson Barboza did his damn thing. Y'all know I fuck with Edson.
Barboza.
Other than that, let's go. Let's get into it. Before we talk about this, can we just talk about the folklore that is now involved with Volkanovski? You know what I mean? Because I don't think that he's really getting the credit that he really deserves for it. Yeah, everyone is like, oh, this is great, blah, blah, blah. No. Not only is he taking this fight on short day notice, you know, across the world, you know, even for him, but for the simple fact that this could be the last time he ever gets to fight for a title at 155, you know. Mm-hmm. So he's really, you know, to use a card term, like going all in on that. And I really think that we need to honor and respect that, because that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
So if he loses this, but it's a really, really close fight, you don't think there's like another chance that he can fight for a title later on?
I mean, what, years later? I mean, because we're talking about 155, right? Such a stacked division. It's not like we're talking about 185 or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Stuff that people don't fucking care about. Like, there are killers. You know, arguably 55 is the deepest division. You know, so he's not going to just be able to jump back in there.
I'm going to push back against what you're saying, of course. I feel like he is getting ample amount of credit. I feel like Islam isn't getting enough credit. He had to still say, yes, I'll fight this man coming in on this notice, even coming off that close fight that they had. And on top of that, Alexander Volkanovski has nothing to lose besides the fact that, first of all, Islam's not going to be at 155 for an extended amount of time. He's about to have one of the
Right.
worst weight cuts of his life. We already know he's going to come inside there looking like death, crying like he did the last time on the scales. He needs to go up to 170. He's way too big for the division. He's having terrible weight cuts. He's not going to be there for too much longer, right? So on top of that, Volk will get another shot when a new champion comes into play, or if Islam loses. Once again, Islam is not Khabib.
You mean when?
Whatever. At the end of the day, Volkanovski has nothing to lose. He already has baked-in excuses. I know he's not taking them, but they're already there. The Volk fans already know he's coming in on 12 days' notice. He's coming off the couch, quote-unquote. He's coming off of a surgery, quote-unquote. When he wins, it'll just be, like, oh, my God. But I think that we really are hyping it up to be more than what it is. And just looking over Islam like, oh, if Islam wins, we're just going to be like, oh, okay. Okay. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, but at the end of the day, like, he's still taking on Volk. Y'all still disrespected him by putting Volkanovski over him on the pound for pound rankings. So if he comes inside here and beats Volk, y'all still gonna keep playing in his face. You know what I mean? So, like, who really has
Pause.
Alexander has nothing to lose in this fight.
High
Everything
hater.
again.
High hater.
He has nothing. What does he have to lose?
Well, first of all, another L on the record.
So?
You know
He
what I
only
mean?
got
So,
two. He only got two.
Yeah, but when we start talking about pound for pound greats, GOAT conversations, you start splitting hairs. That's what you start doing. It's what you have to do, right?
Not so much the record, because we haven't got Islam might be that guy. We just haven't seen it yet. We don't know him to be that guy yet, right? So if Volk loses to Islam again, Islam goes on and does work at 170, then we'll start looking at Islam differently, and his losses will age better, right?
Stop trying to bring this back to Max. Stop it.
Well, you brought it up. I didn't do it. I'm just saying. I didn't.
And also, even more so, even than just the title, right? This might be even more of a point. This might be the only time that Islam be able to get this loss back, especially if Islam does move up to 170. Volk. Sorry. Yes. This would be the last time that Volk can get this loss back.
That's facts. That might be facts right there. But I don't think it'll be the last time that he can challenge at 155 for the title. Because like you say, he's gonna go up. He's a 170er, which is like even bigger though. So if Volkanovski can beat this fool, that's just gonna be crazy.
CB4 in the house.
Jace started off the podcast saying that Volkanovski, that he doesn't think he's getting enough credit for stepping in and taking this fight, because if he loses, he might not get another shot at the 55 belt. And I was arguing saying that he has gotten enough credit, and we're actually not giving enough credit to Islam, and that Volkanovski has nothing to lose. What do you think about it?
Volk doesn't have anything to lose, right? He has everything to gain in the world. If he wins this, he gets like top 3, top 5 GOAT status if he goes up there and wins. But I am going to give him a lot of credit on 10 days notice, going up to go fight a beast like Islam. Man, that's tough. Traveling all the way to Abu Dhabi to take on that monster, that's a hard task. So, man, blessings to that man. In his backyard, home cooking and all. It's going to be a tough road for Volk to try to pull that one off. But he's the man, like I've been saying in the live, he's the man to do that kind of stuff, to pull some crazy shit out like that.
Pause.
Pull some crazy. Yeah, you don't want to pull no shit out like that. That's crazy. That's gross.
That's gross. But I think overall it's a much better. I mean, I know everybody wanted to see Charles. They wanted Charles to have his moment. The champion has a name, is Charles Oliveira. What did he say about the right hand? He said the right hand something and is heavy. The right hand is ready and is heavy or something like that. I don't know. That boy got bars. But I think that this is a much better pay-per-view, especially when we talk about the fact that the Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman, is in the building taking on Khamzat Chimaev.
Who?
Now, if y'all remember, if y'all remember, this was rumored to take place, and I didn't realize this till I went on my TikTok, and I seen people like, oh shit, how did you talk about this way back then, like 5-6 months ago? This was rumored to be the fight for for this card, but it didn't happen. They got Costa in there. Obviously, I don't know if y'all seen the pictures of Costa's elbow, but like that staff is nasty. He got a whole hole.
Brutal. So all you haters out there that's coming after Costa, stop it.
But that fight was supposed to happen at welterweight too, though, right?
Yeah, but then like I don't think the UFC wanted him at welterweight anymore. They wanted him to move up, so now they got it at 185. When Khamzat was coming up through the welterweight division before Kamaru lost the belt, I was constantly on the phone with Jace like, yo, like I think Khamzat's that guy. Like I got on the Khamzat train and I've been writing pause. I've been on it the whole time, like, but
pause.
I kept stop it. I kept telling Jace, I was like, I think he's the one. I didn't know that Leon was gonna be the one, but I thought that Khamzat was gonna be the one. So now that we up at 185, and he's taking him on, I'm really conflicted because I love Kamaru. I know y'all like to talk crap, not y'all on the podcast, but you know, the viewers, they like to talk crap about Kamaru, but I'm really conflicted. I'm rooting for Kamaru, but I think Khamzat's gonna take it. What about y'all?
I'm interested to see how big Kamaru is. Pause.
Clip that one, Sky. You ain't even got to ask us about. Nah, clip that one.
Hey, whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? Whose man's is this?
Hey, you know and then I gotta go back to the episode where he was over there talking about his wife and Kamaru. Like, remember? Like,
my God!
A couple months ago, Damian was going crazy. It was right when he got his headset. He was going crazy about Kamaru.
Yo, that shit was so funny because he was like, "Yeah, me and my wife be dancing to Kamaru." What? That's crazy.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how full he looks. Pause. You know, at 185, because he was already big at 175. I mean 170. So, but then also Khamzat, you know what I mean? So damn, yeah. And Kamaru, I feel like he's gonna be the shorter fighter.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I think Kamaru was 6'1", 6 foot.
I think he's like
Khamzat 6'2".
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So yeah,
first of all of y'all need to call the man his name. It's Cumshot. Stop playing.
No,
it's his name.
We're not.
That's his name. I can't wait to do predictions.
Oh, Kamaru's actually taller. No, I'm sorry. That's Kamaru's 6 foot and Khamzat is 6'2".
6'2".
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot march.
Hey. So how are y'all feeling about this matchup in general?
I like it better. I wanted to see Costa get his ass whooped though, but
Facts.
I'll see that. I'll definitely tune into this fight with the mindset of, damn, this is an interesting one. Something crazy can happen here, you know. But we all knew Paulo Costa was gonna get beat up. Stop fronting, Jace. Stop fronting.
He can't help himself.
Oh wow.
Well, when have you became a Paulo Costa fan?
I've been a Paulo Costa fan.
I can confirm.
Since you saw him get dicked down by Izzy.
Oh fuck!
No, that's when I.
Yeah,
that's.
I was not prepared for that, bro.
That's when I became a Rashawn Strickland fan when he dicked down Izzy. My bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: if y'all motherfuckers ain't listening to the pod, y'all be missing out, homie. Y'all missing out. Everybody got stats and all of that. We got the best pod out there. I don't care what nobody says, bro. We bring the laughs, we bring the fun, we bring everything, man. Shout out to Damien. That was aha, my boy.
Headset Damien in the building.
Headset is wild.
I guess to be quick about it, I feel kind of the same about it. I'm always quick about it, you know. Okay, I don't blame myself. I blame the box. You know?
Facts. If it's good, it's on you, girl.
I'm sorry.
Shit. Your sister's on here.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Damien. Yeah, your sister's on here.
Cover your ears, nigga. What you mean? Grown folks.
He be living by that double standard.
He
of
really
course,
do.
I'm a man. What you mean?
That's crazy.
So
we are in Abu Dhabi, huh?
Hey.
yeah.
No, I mean they're more relaxed in other places. I
In
mean,
Saudi?
we'll talk about it later, but that Saudi Arabia card, we'll talk about it after this. So long story short, I feel kind of the same about it. I don't know. Actually, I feel a little bit less excited, and this is why I say this. Yes, Kamaru is a bigger name than Paulo Costa, and I get that. Hold on one second.
Former champion.
A little parched. So yes, he is a former champion, obviously one of probably the second greatest welterweight of all time. And these things are great, but I was more intrigued to see how would Khamzat do with a larger guy than him at 185, right? And that's what we, because Costa is enormous for 185. Obviously, he struggles making 185. And could Khamzat just throw him around, right? Because here's the thing, and I'll be done with this. The most intriguing fights we've ever seen with John Jones are people who have the same height and reach as him.
That's a good argument.
You know,
Exactly.
so whether you're looking at Gustafsson, that was one of his closest fights. Obviously,
Reyes.
a lot of people know Reyes, you know, people who had the same height, same reach, and it just creates matchup problems. So
Yep.
Khamzat's going to be larger than Usman, you know what I mean, in height and weight, stature, but Costa would be bigger than Khamzat. I want to know, could he ragdoll him around? That's it.
I feel that. I
Yeah.
understand that, but when I'm talking about, I think that Kamaru Usman is a better fighter overall than Paulo Costa. And so for me, we get, now, of course, we're not getting 2019 Kamaru, right? We know that the knees ain't the way they used to be. Who knows if he still has like that residual PTSD from that headshot. But when we just talking about skill sets, if Khamzat can run through Kamaru, he's that guy. Because Kamaru's skill sets, like his resume speaks for itself, you know? So for me, I'm going to get to see where Khamzat is. And if we think back to the Gilbert Burns fight, Gilbert was able to challenge him in that second round. And we got to remember, I think Jason and I either we talked about it on the podcast or after the podcast, that this is going to be the first time in I think like 6 or 7 years that Kamaru was fighting a 3-round fight. Not 6 or 7. I think it's like more like 5.
Since 2018.
Yeah. Since he's fighting a 3-round fight. So
That's crazy.
Let me ask y'all this real fast.
And real quick, because I love to bring Max inside of it. Sorry, Max hasn't fought in a 3-round fight since 2016. Stop fucking with him. Put some respect on his name. Go ahead, Jace.
Quick question, and this is not for official predictions. Does this fight go the distance?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's a 3-rounder.
Yeah.
It's a 3-rounder, and they're both, you know, cardio tanks. And we've seen in history that people with great cardio are typically harder to knock out or finish.
What you got, CJ?
I don't think we've seen the best of Khamzat's cardio though.
At all, yeah.
His cardio was kind of going out against Gil a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he finishes everybody in the early rounds. Pause.
Me too.
But gotta get it done early, my boy. But like how Jace was saying, I was more intrigued for the Khamzat Costa fight. Just exactly what he said, just the size pause of Costa versus Khamzat. I don't know if Khamzat was gonna be able to go in there and big dog him like that. But I'm also intrigued to see what Kamaru's gonna do. Another one, 10-day fight notice.
Yeah, where's your respect for Kamaru?
Fuck,
Jace.
I
Former champ.
got respect for Kamaru.
You didn't come inside here up in him.
I was just laughing real fast because I was like, I could see like CJ talking and him like trying to let me say what I can say without getting a fucking pause because these goddamn savages in the damn podcast, you know, if you slip, just an Asian man, just an Asian man. Headshot dead.
Facts.
Not an Asian.
But in the wrong hole, we calling you out.
Yeah.
Well said.
But
shout out to those who said there is no wrong holes.
Yo. I'm intrigued for Kamaru though. It's a big challenge for him to step up to get against Khamzat. You know, like Jace was saying, Khamzat's it's a big guy. Pause. 10-day notice, traveling again, fucked up knees. I heard he got stem cell in his knees, but it's just like he didn't look his best, Kamaru, in his last fight. So I'm hoping that he steps in and puts on a good showing. I think he can win, but it's gonna be tough. All the odds are against him as well too. But I'm pulling for Kamaru.
You know, I think, wow, I'm sure he appreciates it.
Yo, chill.
I had to. You know, is this fight, if Kamaru loses by decision, and it's a lackluster decision like with the Leon fight, do we start to say, like maybe get out before we take any more damage? If he goes and he gets finished, whether it's a KO or submission, are we like definitely like, where are we on the Kamaru scale of like, hey, like if he comes out he looks good, but he just loses, like where are you guys gonna be at with that?
I feel like
he's still. Oh, go ahead, y'all.
I was gonna say the fact that he's moving up weight and taking this fight on 10 days notice doesn't hurt his resume at all. I feel like.
I feel that people are already talking that way about Kamaru.
You.
Mm-hmm. They are.
No, not just me. Just people in general. Okay. People in general. After because I think a lot of people thought that he would get it done against Leon. You know what I mean? Especially the second time. Everyone kind of said, okay, like headshot dead. Hey, you threw a Hail Mary, landed cool, got it, whatever. But they saw him lose again against Leon, where everyone's expecting kind of a domination, and now people are just like, "Oh, you're washed. You're garbage. You are fucking hot garbage." Shout out to Coach Prime.
You talking about all of MMA fans?
I feel like a lot of MMA
fan ever.
Yeah, a lot of MMA fans now are just, "Oh, Kamaru's done. His knees are shot. Blah 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 blah." Like, damn dog, like he lost one, one bad one. Like, yes, he lost twice against Leon. But he was beating the shit out of Leon Edwards, obviously, until he wasn't. You know what I mean? So I don't really count that against him.
But even in that second fight, people are still like, well, I had Kamaru winning, or I had a draw. If you go back to Sky was like, it was a draw. It wasn't like Leon just washed him. It just didn't. Kamaru didn't look as Kamaru as he normally looks.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like if he goes up against Khamzat, and how Sky said, if it's a close fight or he doesn't get finished, and it's a lot of up against the cage or whatever, and it goes to Khamzat, I don't think it diminishes what he does at 70. Because he can still, who's there? Is Leon, then it's Kamaru, and Kobe, and then Bilal. Like, he can still beat all of those guys at 70. Wonder Boy, he can beat those guys still. So, his wrestling is still amazing. I still think he can still go down there and beat those guys, even if he has a bad showing this Saturday.
I think for me, it's really tough because it's one thing if his skill sets were declining. I don't think his skill sets are declining.
Mm-hmm.
It's his body is failing him. And that's something that he can't necessarily control. And so for me, that's where I'm just like, damn, like, I don't want to call it on you, but I also don't want you to go out there and get hurt. I don't want to see you go out there and start like we talked about on the pod last time. You got these legends that went on these streaks, and he was one away. He was one away from tying Anderson Silva. He was like there. He was knocking at the door and got knocked down. So, it's like now his body is starting to go through these changes. And I don't want to see you start going downhill, getting 2, 3, 4 losses in a row, like looking crazy out here. Sucks. Because you don't have anything to prove. You know
how
what
old
I mean?
is Kamaru?
I want to say
36.
I want to say 36.
Let's see.
36. He feels 36. Don't he pause?
Yeah, he 36. Yeah, he's 36.
How do you know how he feels?
Hey, I didn't say inches, nigga.
I said how you know how he feels.
But yeah, so he's 36, which isn't that bad, but because of his knees, it kind of puts him in a situation. I feel like MMA fans MMA fans are super harsh and critical, and if he gets washed in this fight, whether it's he just gets beat up for 3 rounds or he gets submitted or KO'd, they are going to like trample all over him, right? Like y'all know how the comments be. They just be insane. But
they
if
already
it's
got memes made ready to hit
but
post.
if it's a competitive fight and he loses, then I think that'd be good. But let's talk about the good. If he actually pulls it off and beats the hype that is Khamzat Chimaev, he then goes against Sean Strickland, who he's already beat down at 170. And now all of a sudden, we looking at him like, hey, he done got this breath of fresh air. Maybe that Leon fight was a one-off situation.
I'm going to need you to put some respect on his name. It's LaShawn Strickland. Stop playing.
No, you're LaShawn. He's Deshaun. No, you're Deshaun. I can't remember what we started calling you in the beginning.
The man.
The pod, when you were talking wild.
The man. Period.
So how do you guys feel about Khamzat or Kamaru versus Strickland?
Strickland by domination.
Strickland by
against both of them.
Against who?
Nah.
Either or.
Oh, y'all.
Strickland getting buried.
Heard that before.
Kamaru already beat him. What are you talking about?
How many years ago was that?
I don't give a damn if it was 10 years ago.
Well, then that's just you being immature.
No, it's not about that.
It is because stuff changes, skill set changes, people change. Is that not a thing?
Sure, that's a thing. But you're talking about two different people. Okay. I don't think that I don't think that Strickland's wrestling is better than Kamaru. I don't think his strike. They both got and type of striking. You know what I mean? Like I still
you could argue that Sean Strickland has the best striking in MMA.
I don't.
Especially on this podcast. Especially on this podcast.
No, you don't.
Let me finish my point. Especially on this podcast. How y'all were saying Izzy's the greatest striker in MMA.
I never said that.
On this podcast, people were saying.
I talk about Matt Holloway.
People were saying Izzy's the best overall striker in MMA.
He is.
Okay. Well, was because he got outstruck.
No.
Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland had great defense,
which is a part of striking.
Listen,
it's defense.
Hit and don't get hit.
Listen, Damian, you talking to the same man that thinks that Alex Pereira has better striking than Izzy. So don't even try to go back and forth with Jace on this. Because he lives in the la land. Like nobody thinks that except for you.
Okay. Just answer me this, and then let's move on. How many
Here goes
times?
This math, and here goes this math.
How many times did LaShawn Strickland take down Izzy Adesanya?
0.
Okay, that's all I need to know. And who won?
And what's your point?
And who won?
I thought his math was gonna be Pajeda knocked out Strickland. And then Strickland beat Izzy.
I'm just saying.
I thought that's what his math was about to
be. If Sean Strickland didn't take down Izzy at all, so that means it was a striking battle then, correct? I'm sorry.
You're talking about somebody winning versus skill set, and that's completely different. Same way that Volk lost, but y'all said that his skill set was better than Islam. That's the same thing. So don't even try to argue that, because a skill set versus winning a fight is completely different. Styles make fights.
The style of they were just striking.
Of pressure that shut down Izzy. So that's completely different. It has nothing to do with their individual being the best striker. Y'all,
this man watches one fight where someone does one thing wrong in a fight, and it's it. That's it. Worst striker. Don't even put him in the fucking category. This man is not worthy. This man is not worthy. Sean Strickland's the god. He's the greatest. He got knocked out in the other match. Yeah, he got knocked out in the other match. But that was then, and this is now.
I never once said that Izzy was the best striker. That was y'all beating that drum. Y'all are wrong, and I'm the other guy.
Wow. All right, y'all. Let's take a look at the rest of the card, right? So we got Magomed Ankalaev finally coming back, taking on Johnny Walker. Ikram is finally getting another shot. Now, isn't this a dude that just lost to Strickland?
No, that's a boost, Magomedov.
Oh, that's a boost. See, there's.
Yeah, because he's from Germany, the guy who just fought Strickland.
Oh, okay. So he fought.
Ikram fought Khamzat before, way back in the day.
Okay, I remember. Before he got into the UFC. You also have Saeed. They didn't finally got him a fight on here. The main card's not looking too crazy. Like, obviously, it's very top heavy with the top two. But Tim Elliott versus Muhammad Makhachev. I'm looking forward to that. Mr. I won't tap. You're gonna have to tear my leg off.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Muhammad inside of London earlier this year. Yo, that boy, I'm interested to see what he looks like in this fight.
That was one of the wildest things I've seen all year.
Hard to watch. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, earlier March, the London card, his leg was like an elbow, like this pretty much. Like it was bent the wrong way, and he just sat there like Tony and was like,
I'm sure the ref heard it going. He was like, "You going?"
But it ended up not tearing like an ACL or MCL or anything like that. Obviously, because he wouldn't be fighting. It was just like I think he might have had like a minor tear or something. Like he was only out for like 6 to 8 weeks, and yeah, I mean he's been good. We got Javid Basharat on here, one of the Basharat brothers. They be getting down. And we got Soulja Boy on here.
No, 21. That's 21 Savage.
21. Hey,
yeah, that's 21.
21.
That definitely is.
Do something for me. Let's go. Yeah, so I mean the card isn't the deepest, but it's not terrible either. I actually really like where I see him. Nathaniel Wood. Is he fighting at featherweight now? Yeah. So that'll be a good fight. So I mean there's still like some solid
Bruno Silva
fights that are.
There's no girls on the card, huh?
No, there is right here.
There's a okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can we? I know we got a lot of stuff to get to, so can we do some predictions?
Yeah.
We can get to some other stuff.
Can we? Yeah, we could just do the main. Let's just do the top. Let's do the top. The last three. We ain't gonna try to predict. Ankalaev versus Johnny. Who y'all got?
Ankalaev. Johnny getting dog walked.
What a straight face.
It's so serious. So serious. Fuck. I got Ankalaev as well.
I got Ankalaev.
I think Ankalaev's gonna win, but I'm going for Johnny Walker. So I'm gonna say Johnny Walker.
Same. I'm going for Walker, but I feel like every time
everyone's got the Bobby Green effect again.
Facts.
But the thing, I think Johnny's kind of like he's coming into his own. Pause. That he's streamlining himself. I think he's focusing a little bit more. But you know, Ankalaev's tough. But I just like him a little bit.
Real fast, and so I can be on the record. I'm not doing this again. I'm actually going to take Johnny Walker.
All right.
Okay.
So 2-2.
All right, and then we got Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat.
Damien.
All right, I'm going Usman. I'm going Kamaru Usman. Let's go, Nigerian Nightmare.
Who you got, CJ?
Everything's stacked against them, but I'm going Kamaru.
Sky?
I'm going Khamzat. Oh, it kills me. It kills me.
Fuck.
But I'm actively going against. I want Kamaru to win, but I just feel like Khamzat's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
I feel like Kamaru's gonna get it done. I don't know why. It's just something in me.
I am going Kamaru Usman upset special.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have him getting it. I'm gonna have him taking him out there. I see a finish.
Could you imagine?
What?
Could you fucking imagine that he hits him with the same like nasty shot he hit Jorge with, and like, ooh, just luck. I will lose my mind. I will lose
Third round TKO.
Mind. Let's go. And then Islam versus Volk.
I'm going Volkanovski all the way. Let's go. Run it right back.
That's another tough one. That's another tough one. It's odds are stacked. I'm going Volk. If I'm a betting man, I'll probably be losing hella money because I'll be picking with the wrong way. But yeah, I'll go Volk.
Nah, chill. You don't know yet.
The chill curse. Damn. So, not to be a big surprise, obviously this week, I'm balls in for Volkanovski. There we go. I took 3 dogs. Go ahead and run that parlay for those out there like myself who is a betting man. Go ahead and run that chui butter. Run that chui, man. Me say chui butter.
So you
That's
got
big.
Johnny
That's
Walker.
big money right there too.
You got Johnny Walker, Kamaru Usman, and Volk. All right, y'all, because when we come back next week, we don't want to hear nothing about Jace talking about, well, I texted you, or I thought, or I sent a telepathic message to you.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop ganging up on me, man. It's hard being great. It's
Mr.
hard being
I
great.
haven't lost, and y'all know when he get it right, he act like that's it, like a clean slate.
I mean, I usually always am right. I'm like 98 percentile.
But that's crazy that you still be up on here lying 99% of the time.
With the receipts and all, he don't care.
Right, with the receipts and all, he don't care.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
For the record, even though I'm going to Islam, I'm hoping that Volkanovski wins. I'm hoping that Volk wins and Kamaru wins. But mostly Volk because I need him out of 145. Yeah.
If Volk does win, how do you see him getting it done?
Decision.
A decision, still in 3.
Yeah.
Man,
that's
I don't see him knocking him out. And really, like I said, go back and watch the fight. Mighty Mouse did a really good breakdown of Islam versus Volk, the first fight, and he scored it the same way I scored it. But like he shows a lot, and like y'all gotta. Like I said it after the fight, but nobody cared because they were so enamored by Volkanovski. But like Islam striking was clean on there. He was striking. Go ahead, Jace.
Keep talking.
No. He dropped him. He dropped him 2 times.
Volk dropped him as well?
Volk dropped him once, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And more importantly, Volk was beating the shit. Volk was beating the skin off of him.
We don't judge the 5th round. We don't judge the 5th round only. This is a fight.
No one said judging the 5th round only. I'm saying, like, from a striking standpoint, he was beating the shit out of him.
No, in the 5th round. In the 5th round.
He started. I felt like I didn't rewatch the fight again, but from my recollection, Islam was getting lumped up, and that's when he started to try to wrestle because he was trying to go toe to toe.
No, Islam was catching your boy. Go back and actually watch the fight.
Y'all
gotta go back and actually.
I've watched the fight 4 times.
No, go back and watch it.
4 times I've watched the fight.
Islam was clipping him. Go back to that 2nd round. He hurt him twice in that round and dropped him. Like y'all need to go back.
I was
surprised. Flash knockdowns.
Without wanting
I was surprised. Yeah, I was
flash knockdown. Flash knockdowns.
It was like he was throwing like some sneaky strikes. It felt like it was like, what the hell?
So round 1, whose round was that one? The first round. Islam's.
You know what? It doesn't
Second
matter.
round.
They're about to fight.
Razor
some shit to talk about. It was a close fight, a good fight. I hope that this fight is as competitive as the last one, and I'll leave it at that.
I don't. I hope that it's clear. I don't want to hear a close fight. I don't like either somebody beat the shit out of somebody or finish somebody so that we don't have to come back here and say, oh, it was razor thin and we can disagree.
Yeah.
We're looking at it through Islam's eyes or Volkanovski's eyes. Like, I want it to be clear.
Somebody will find a way to disagree, though.
He will.
Y'all are just not used to hearing the truth.
It's crazy. I have a feeling that Islam might sub him.
Me too.
I have a feeling.
I think Khabib's gonna be in the corner, and Daddy Khabib ain't gonna let you go out there and not execute Father's plan.
Yeah. I have a sneaky feeling he's gonna sub him. I don't know what round. I don't know how. I don't know, but something. I'm like, he ain't gonna be playing with him in his back no more. Pause. You know, he's gonna be actively going for that sub. He's gonna be actively going for the subs. So
if Khabib is in the corner coaching, just put the camera on Khabib. That's what we need to see because Khabib be lit in the corner.
Yeah.
So. All right. So moving on. Oh, sorry, man.
I was just gonna say I need to see how's Bula in there too.
I hate him.
Yo, chill. Yo,
That's how you
chill.
really feel. Tell
Pick
us
on
how
somebody
you
your
really
own
feel.
size.
He is my size. I'll punt that little motherfucker,
Why
bro.
you? Dang! Why you
I
hate
can't
Hasbro like
stand that little nigga, bro. I don't know. Fuck him.
Where did he come from? Like for
Damn.
real?
Where
Like
did
all
he
of a
go?
sudden.
A womb?
Nah, that nigga from the mythical lands or some shit.
Narnia.
For real
Y'all see
though.
the videos of like when Tyson picks him up like a baby? Like
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
bro, that's a grown ass
think
man, homie.
Yeah,
Tyson think he a doll or something.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
he trying to give him raspberries and stuff.
Oh, you guys, I got some hot takes.
Or you
Well,
want to talk about USADA?
Before we,
Oh,
like
I
we
didn't
got
even
other,
think about that.
we
Yeah.
got other stuff to talk to about quick.
What'd you say?
So, USADA, as I guess I'll do the intro for it. As everyone it broke the internet this week of the UFC and USADA making a split. Internet was set on fire. I guess I'm just curious to get your guys' thoughts about it. What do you think, CJ?
I want to know what was happening with Connor where they're treating him so bad. I was in and out, not really fully paying attention what's going on with it. What happened with that? Where they were like, that's so disgusting. I don't understand that part of what was going on.
So I guess, and this is something me and Sky talked about off camera. It's perspective, right? Because I was telling her, whether it was right or wrong, USADA is winning the battle of public opinion, right? Because when you start off first, you shape the narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the narrative that most of us in MMA land got from that is that USADA wanted Conor to do a full 6 months testing,
Mm-hmm.
and the UFC was trying to give him a pass. And then USADA was like, no, that don't work. And then, UFC was like, well, fuck you then. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that may not be the true story. It may be the true story. Who knows, right? But in the court of public opinion, I feel like it was shaped at that point to say, oh, shit, because that's the way I felt about it, going, oh, yeah, man, like you don't want, like y'all trying to give Conor a pass, because we all know Conor's on a horse meat right now. That motherfucker's like he can't make 185 right now. He's that big, Damien, you got any thoughts about it, bro?
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of confused. So they just ended the deal, but they're gonna find another anti-doping like party to run stuff, like,
Let me
or
Yeah,
give
they
is
you
got
guys.
one.
everyone, or is
Let me tell you
everyone
guys
just going?
what's
Oh,
happening.
okay.
All right. First of
It's like
all,
sports,
it's
drugs,
imperative.
something.
It's drug-free sports is the
There we
name of
go.
it. They do horse riding, PGA, football, basketball, NFL, NBA, all of that. They do like a whole
Hockey.
bunch of different, yeah. Pretty much, the current like U.S. sports or whatever, but they're nationwide. Now, here is where Jason and I, as usual, completely disagree. And the problem is because you have to use common sense when you're like looking at this situation. I'm not talking about you, but if you get hit with a stray, that's on you. You have to use common sense when I'm looking at this. Now, I know like 90% of the people that's like in the comments on social media, like they're like 20-year-old, 18-year-old weirdos who have no experience in life, and they hear one narrative and they just run with it because it sounds cool, or they want to get likes or impressions, or they're trying to get like a reaction or a response. Like that's like 90% of the MMA comments on social media. But the actual reality is that USADA and the UFC have been having a shaky relationship, right? And you hear the fighters, for instance, Volkanovski, coming out like, hey, like USADA did X, Y, and Z, like they popping up. When I just got here, they pulling Costa out while he's cutting weight, trying to draw blood from him. This man hasn't drinking water in 36 hours. They've been doing like little weird shit. They tested Yuri Prohaska, what was it, like 20-something times in a month? Like something crazy. It might have been like a shorter period than that. So they've been doing stuff, and the UFC has been trying to work with them on different policies and ways to work around just different systems to make it better. And USADA hasn't been able to do that. Now, see, so when USADA comes out, and if you guys are looking at this on YouTube or on Spotify, I have the statement up right now. So USADA comes out and says like, oh, Conor McGregor entered back in, and basically that they said there would be no exception. Now Conor's entering in October 8th, right? And people are like, oh, the UFC and them, they wanted him back early. Why would they enter him back in if they wanted him to come back early? He would not have to. If they're severing relationships come December 31st, that means that if they wanted to bypass USADA, they could just simply tell Conor not to enter back in. Our contract's up with them on January 31st. We can book you for UFC, whatever the fuck number they want, after the 31st, January 1st. We can book you for whatever fight we want to book you for. So that doesn't make logical sense. And on top of that, when the UFC came out and made their statement, they came out and they said everybody is going to have to serve their sentences. Everybody who already is currently serving whatever type of suspension that they have, they're going to have to see it through. Conor's still going to have to. So, like, it does not make sense. Conor signing up on the 8th of October still aligns with him being available for UFC 300. There was nothing that was at risk besides the fact this is the exact same thing that happened when One Championship came out and said, oh, we're pulling out of the Francis Ngannou deal. They're just trying to create a narrative when Francis was never going to sign with One. He was already going to go to PFL and have this deal that he had over there. But they came out and they made it seem like, oh, we're out of the deal. He's asking for too much. He's this, he's that. And y'all were like all onto that. It's like you just have to use common sense. Then on top of that, when you look at the UFC in the new like direction that they're going, the testing is getting harder. They're testing more for EPO. Like when they broke down everything that they're starting to test for, I'm scared for these fighters. Somebody about to pop bad. Somebody, like, they're not playing about EPO no more. They said that is the most dangerous thing that fighters have been getting away with, and USADA doesn't test for it every time. That's how a lot of these people have been cheating and getting away with it. USADA doesn't test for it every time. So now with the new company, that's what's going to be getting ran inside of these piss tests on all of them.
TJ Dillashaw.
Shout out to TJ.
What you feel, Jace? Because you shaking your head.
I feel like Sky is just on the Jamba Juice, drinking the home cooking, and I actually wonder how good is the company, right? Yes, obviously they're used by the major factions, of the US. Not enough people pop in the NFL for me. That I would bet 99.3% of the NFL is on some type of Jamba Juice, some type of horse meat. You know what I mean? You have to be competitive. You know what I mean? Yes, Scott.
Do we know what they're testing for in the NFL? Because the UFC's relationship with the doping companies completely different. They're testing for specific things. They have different relationships and different protocols set up than these other organizations. So we can't compare to them. Just like how when USADA and the UFC joined together, they created this joint situation that USADA is now echoing and saying, oh, we did this. Like that all came from the UFC. So their program, a lot of what USADA is doing now was because of the relationship with the UFC. So we can't look at the NFL and be like, well, yeah, these people, they should be popping for something. That had nothing to do with the UFC. Because at the end of the day, the people, the doping companies are only there to collect and send it to the lab.
Okay,
That's
so
let
me ask you this. Do you know exactly what they are testing the UFC fighters for?
Yeah, they gave a list. If I can pull it up on the whatchamacallit, because what's his name asked for it.
Okay, so here's the thing though, right? If you know exactly what they're testing for, all you can do is get the alternative to it.
Sure. If you understand that, they're not just testing for X amount of things, right? So, but there's the main things that they have identified that are super crucial, like are really hurting the sport and putting people at danger, that they're going to start extensively testing for. And on top of that, they're still going to be testing for, whatever they are. Now, if there's other things that fighters are using that haven't come up in the doping world, like they're just not aware of, obviously we can't find out that there's some fucking mystery dirt that people are snorting up their buttholes. You know what I mean? Until like that comes out. That's what any anti-doping.
So let me just ask y'all this to wrap it up, because we got a couple other things to get to. Do you think this new partnership will have more or less pops than USADA?
I'm gonna say less.
I'm gonna say that the state commissions will still be the lead as they have been. USADA ain't found nobody. It's been the state commissions that have been popping everybody. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's gonna be the exact same amount. The state commissions have been the ones that have been popping everybody. USADA ain't popped nobody recently.
CJ?
Ahead.
I think it's going to be the same.
Damien, I agree with you. I think it's about to become few less and far between.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna see some niggas that weren't as big before. All of a sudden, you a little heavier. You looking a little more cut. You looking a little more heavy.
I
TRT
think you guys sound
Vitor.
absolutely ridiculous. I really do. I think both of y'all sound
I
ridiculous.
feel like you are the same way. But the thing about it is, like, you go Stephen A. Smith and go loud and very passionate, which is cool, right? But then you like try to dismiss us, you know what I mean? When we have the same opinion, it's just opposite. But then, like, not only hold on, just let me finish my last statement. You know, because it's not only will you tell us that we're wrong, right? But then you take a shit on us on top of it for thinking that way. You know what I mean?
I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I think I'm being honest.
Say that I sound ridiculous too.
And I'm being honest as well. I told you I think you're a homer. But
where's your proof? Like, where's your actual facts of it? Besides what you just came up with in your head based off.
What did you get your PhD in? I'm sorry.
I didn't get my PhD inside of anti-doping, but I'm reading what these articles are saying. I'm looking at both statements, and I'm coming up with a decision. I'm not just deciding.
You're coming up with a hypothesis, just like we're coming up with a hypothesis. But that's cool. We got stuff to talk about.
Real quick, I did want to read a DM that I got. This is about Bellator and PFL because Showtime Sports is getting rid of boxing and they're getting rid of MMA. And a Bellator fighter reached out to me and said, as far as we heard, new management will be in 2024, but lots of the same key employees like Mike Kogan. Things will be running as usual for Bellator, owned by PFL, but still running separate. So that's the last that a Bellator fighter who just fought recently heard.
So it's still gonna be fucking running whack then.
It's still gonna be Bellator, but
it's gonna still be bullshit.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that's better because I like PFL having its own thing. Like they have their seasons in their league, and maybe like now some of those Bellator fighters can like go over there, like they can interchange them. But like I didn't want it just to be like a big bloated PFL now with all of these fighters.
Yeah. But I don't like the PFL season thing. I don't like that. It's hard to understand the points and shit. Yeah, I don't understand. I like watching the fights. I like how they have the stats and all of that going on. I don't like the seasonal thing. I'm like, yo, give me my fights all throughout the year. How UFC, how Bellator does it. But I don't know, man. Bellator needs to start stepping it up. They need to. When Strikeforce was around, they pushed the UFC. When WEC was around, they pushed the UFC to become better. You know, UFC came out and bought everybody and, you know, fucked everybody else's product up. You guys watch Bellator?
I watch fighters of Bellator.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a Bellator event. I mean, it's cool. It doesn't have the same atmosphere that look at that big ass spider. It doesn't have the same. It doesn't.
That's so random.
It doesn't have the same like atmosphere like a UFC, you know, atmosphere gives you. So, you know, it wasn't as cool. I mean, the fighters are still fighters at the end of the day. Like that doesn't matter where they're fighting. You know, they could still be great fighters. But
all right, so we had some quick technical difficulties. We don't know what happened there, but something about Bellator.
Forget it. Hey, all right. So I have a question for y'all that's been going through my mind ever since UFC announced they're going to Saudi Arabia. Will they have women on the card?
I say no.
In Saudi Arabia? No, I don't think so either because sometimes they don't have women on cards anyway. You look up and you be like, damn, there ain't no girls on these cards? So I'll say no.
CJ, I know you used to fuck with the WWE. I don't know if you still do it anymore.
I don't watch it as much, but I do follow like the girls like Angel Reese, girl that played Clark. I fucking support them. I like the girl ballers.
I don't know if you saw like in their crown Sky. I don't know if you can bring it up for them for
pull it up right now.
the crown jewel event where how they had the girls wrestle. Like, I don't know what's worse for the UFC. Either A, them trying to make them dress up like this, or to not have them on at all and have like the backlash from that. What do y'all think would be worse?
When they're like fully clothed up.
Yeah.
I say no. Don't do that.
Don't do which one? Have them on the card or out there like fully clothed?
Yeah, just don't have women on the card. Like, don't even bring no women employees. Like, just realize where the hell you at. Like, honestly, like when y'all going over there to these countries, you got to read the room. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say
you
that.
already not wanted there, really. You know what I mean? You gonna get treated like a second class citizen. Don't at me, like at them. You know what I mean? Like, leave the female fighters alone. You know, God forbid they're a gay female fighter. They'll try to stone them while they're there. Like, just leave it alone. Like, just stay there. Send an all male cast there. Let them do their thing. Like, I don't want to see Megan O'Leary have to be there. Like, for what? For what?
Are you Sky or Sky and CJ? Shall I say? I apologize. Do you have any feelings about the UFC going to Saudi Arabia because so much will have to change for them to go there?
Hey, it's business. They're trying to make that money. They're trying to get that Saudi bag.
So you don't care at all?
I guess I don't really know, like, as far as like my own personal feelings about, like, you know, Saudi Arabia. I'm not really like well versed on their politics there, so I don't have like any adverse feelings to be like, no, absolutely, we shouldn't go there. Now, if I learn something about them and I'm like, oh hell no, I can't believe we're going over there, that'd be different. But as of right now, I don't know enough to be like have a problem.
What more do you need to know besides the fact that, like, if you are gay, you literally will be beheaded?
Hey, they do that in Africa. They do that in Jamaica. They do that all over the world. Ain't nothing new. They treat women like crap. They treat gays like crap. I mean, it ain't nothing new. That's just what they do.
What do you think, CJ?
I feel like what Sky said too. Because isn't Francis and them going over there to go fight?
Yeah. Next week.
The boxers have been going to Saudi Arabia. The boxers have been going.
But I think that's something that's above my pay grade. I know business is business. And like Sky said, you got to read the room and know the politics of what's going on around that place. Like, if women don't get treated right over there, please don't. You got to protect them. So don't put them in bad situations like that. And like Sky said, if you're a gay woman, a black woman, like, don't send them over there if it's going to be bad for them, you know. I wouldn't want to send them that. But if they want that entertainment and Dana knows how to keep everybody protected and safe, then I don't see why they wouldn't go out there and put on a show for them.
And I don't think that I don't think that the Saudis want to see women fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really think about it. I don't think that they want to see, like, you know, and it would have to be like a fight up here. It's not just going to be like no regular fight. You know what I mean? I don't think that they want to see Grasso versus Shevchenko. And that's a badass fight. Anybody else want to see it, but I don't see it happening. But you know, it's interesting because when PFL got their money from the Saudis, we was like, oh man, like we didn't picture that the UFC would also make some deals with them as well. So now, you know, it's interesting.
Fair.
What about you? You have any thoughts or opinions about it?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. I mean, the Saudis' human rights record is atrocious. Not only gays, I mean, there they still behead people for sorcery. That's not a joke. That is not a joke. That's a fact. They literally, they think you are a sorcerer, they will behead you in the town square. You know, not to mention what they did to the American journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where they hit him with the Benny the Butcher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the UFC should be doing anything over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're following in line with other leagues, obviously boxing, of course, all of the soccer players. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say, Cristiano Ronaldo went over there, right?
Yeah, Cristiano
Now,
Ronaldo was
is
the
that
first.
story true?
What?
That like there was a disabled little girl who like painted him a picture. Well, I know that this part is true because she did paint him a picture, and like he went and he like tapped her on the shoulder and gave her a hug. And then they were saying that like if he went back there, that he would have to get 10 lashes or 40 lashes, something like that, like literally to the back, for touching a woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
A lot of the stuff is in their law. I remember, I'll make this brief as well. I was in Egypt one time going to go see the pyramids, got on the subway, got on the wrong cart. I won't say the wrong cart. I didn't know. And there in Egypt, they have a female only cart. And then they have like an everyone cart. I was just running for the subway, trying to hurry up and get there, jumped in. All of a sudden, like everybody backed up away from me. I'm like, wait a second, y'all niggas too. What's going on here? You know. Then had to read the room and realize, oh, I'm in the wrong cart. Got it.
It was in Iran. I'm sorry. It was in Iran that when they were playing in Iran, that he's 99 lashes.
Crazy. Whole different world.
So what happened when you got on?
It's a whole different world.
And you were fine?
Oh, so what happened was, so I was there with this guy named Cho from Taiwan, and we like looked at each other like packed subway, and all of a sudden like we had arms linked between us, like something's wrong here. Then we looked to the left, we looked to the right. I'm like, yo, man, ain't nothing but girls on this cart. And he goes, you're right. I was like, did they got like gender separated carts? Like maybe. So then the next stop we got off, as everyone was looking at us like we had, the plague, got off and then realized, oh, okay, this is like all the guys and like family cart. Got it. Cool. Say less.
Yeah. When you go over there, you gotta know what you're doing, who you with. You gotta read. You gotta figure out what the laws are. I'm good. I'm leaving them alone. They got their money. I don't know why they want tourism all of a sudden. Stay where y'all at. Do what y'all do. They got crap ton of money. Why do they want tourism?
Because they want a different lens for them. You know what I mean? They want a different lens, but it's impossible.
Either way, this weekend, UFC 294 is taking place. Alexander Volkanovski is taking on Islam Makhachev. Kamaru Usman is taking on Khamzat Chimaev. I am excited for it. I cannot wait. We will definitely be back next week to go over everything that takes place. Hopefully, we all come back happy. Like, hopefully, Volk and Kamaru win, and we can come inside here going crazy.
And remember, it comes on early. It comes on early, too.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Thank God, because I'll be in LV this weekend. The baby boy's coming back home. Shout out to anyone who's going to be at the When We Were Young Festival. I'll be there. Say what's up to the kid.
Yes.
Emo's not a phase.
Emo's not a phase. The multifaceted Jace, you guys. The prelim start at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and the main card starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, it is starting early. Thank you for that, CJ. And we will be back next week.